So we're back here on another Couch Coach Live Sunday sit down. I got my good friend Jelani Brown from What the Game Means to Me podcast.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, nothing much. Like we was talking about, it's just Sunday.
Yeah.
Just another day, cool and relaxing, ready for the grind in the week and everything. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I've been up honestly since about 2 o'clock. I fell asleep randomly.
Wow.
And then like I said, I got up, just kind of was working on the podcast a little bit, probably posted
Yeah.
up after we get off here. So yeah, I just been up, made some burgers, checking out what's going on social media with the protests and everything. And yeah, just that's pretty much it. I watched a little bit of a movie on Netflix as well, so just
Yeah.
keeping myself busy. How you doing, man?
Everything's good, man. Like I was saying, just relax. Just another Sunday and just getting ready for the grind of the week. That is, just getting ready for the week ahead. But
Exactly.
man, let's talk about, and actually, definitely huge shout out for you having me as a guest on
Oh yeah,
What the
yeah,
Game
of
Means
course,
to Me
yeah.
podcast. So tell everybody about the podcast and just your journey.
Yes, of course, of
Yeah.
course. So I'm a new podcaster. Just started about a month ago. I think today makes actually a month since I dropped my first like 3 episodes. Yeah, it does. So dropped those first 3 episodes. Just kind of telling about myself. And then I did kind of like one on the draft, and then another one with my good friend. He played at ETSU. What's up, Chris? That's
Yeah.
actually what
Yeah.
Chris Powell from not Chris Powell, sorry, Chris LeBron. I'm talking to Chris Powell. Chris LeBron from Off the Ball. He's actually who I did the podcast with. I'm dropping with later, but yeah, I my third episode was with a good friend of mine. He plays at ETSU right now, wide receiver, and then my coach, former coach from high school. So yeah, pretty much like I said, new podcast that just dropped those first 3 episodes about a month ago. So I guess it's my little month anniversary. Kind of the idea behind it was just, I guess, providing a platform for individuals to come on and kind of just share their stories about kind of how like they got into sports, or kind of like what sports kind of means to them. Because I guess my philosophy and thinking is, sports just has an effect on everybody somehow, some way, and I know everybody has a story, whether it's they played on the next level, or whether they weren't able to play on the next level, got hurt, and they chose a different avenue or whatever. Kind of like my story. So pretty much I played sports all the way through high school, football, basketball, and baseball. I played mainly focused on football and basketball when I was in high school, but basically kind of injuries derailed me from kind of where I thought I was going to be and what I wanted to do. So come my senior year, pretty much I was injured, but I still had like a few offers, but they were kind of like really just like lower D3 level schools, and they were pretty far. They're up north, and everybody don't know me, but I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't do well with the cold, so I didn't want to go anywhere too far from home, and money wise, it just wasn't too smart of a decision. So just decided to stay home, stay local, go to Kennesaw State and Georgia State, where I majored in sports administration, and figured I just find a different avenue, different way into the sports world, kind of just staying around it. It's pretty much the whole thing. So I just wanted to get, partner with other people, because I know I got a lot of friends that I used to play with that went on to the next level. Like I have a few friends that play in the NFL. Actually, I played with one guy that plays on your team, Chris. What you call it? Montez Sweat.
Oh no way! That's my guy.
Yeah,
Yes,
Montez.
sir.
He I played with him little league. So
Mhm.
used to throw the ball to him. He used to be, I think, our DN and tight end. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I just know there's a few guys I know that play in the NFL now, and that just play on different levels, higher levels. So I plan to pretty much partner with them, kind of get their story out. Kind of also just inspire, I guess, the youth in a way. Like I said, just let people know, like, everybody of course wants to be, like LeBron or Katie or Deshaun Watson. Just they want to be out in the NFL and play on that next level. And of course, that's all good and great, but sometimes the numbers aren't in people's favors. I think it's a low percentage. I think like less than 2% of college athletes go on to the next level and play pro. So just I guess being that inspiration, maybe getting other people's story out that's in different areas, whether it's the sports industry or just regular the business world, kind of just letting them know there's different avenues to be kind of where you want to be, instead of whether you, and not be too down on yourself if you can't reach those higher aspirations you may have, like I said, playing in the NBA, NFL, MLB, whatever the case may be. So yeah. talk for a minute, but yeah, that's pretty much the idea behind it all, and kind of where my inspiration came from. So appreciate you coming on this past week. You guys go check out that episode. I posted it up, I think about 2 days ago. So really good conversation, really great conversation. Then also have another one coming on today. So
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's so funny that you say that. It's a great show, man. And it's crazy because it kind of brought me back, because you asked me that question.
Yep.
And it's fun to go back and how to kind of relive how it all kind of started.
Exactly.
And kind of like you said, it's almost, I didn't compete on your level, like as far as high school and what have you, but I always knew at some point, I always wanted to be in a part of the game in some form or fashion.
Yep.
I knew probably athletically, no, like I was saying on the podcast on Wednesday, I didn't hit the genetic lottery like I envisioned.
Yeah.
But hey, I wanted to stay in the game. But
exactly.
And funny that we talked about when I was on the pod on Wednesday. So Drew Brees, Drew Brees was the topic of this. This was the real Drew Brees that came out when we discussed it on Wednesday.
Yep.
Now he's had a mea culpa times 2. He had 2 apologies.
Exactly.
So what are your thoughts now? This is Sunday. We are about 4 days removed from what we talked about on Wednesday.
Yep.
Your thoughts now on these 2 apologies? I put it that way to clean it up.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. I'm almost really in the same place as Wednesday. I guess like with the teammates and everything, of course, all his other teammates came out. Michael Thomas, posted a picture. Demario Davis, said something like basically like that's our leader. We're going to accept it. We're going to move on or whatever. Other of his teammates just coming out, kind of like accepting it and stuff. Which I feel like they not have to do, but it's best to do, of course, with their upcoming season, that they don't want like that type of tension and hard feelings like affecting the locker room and affecting their game. And they have big Super Bowl aspirations this year. Sorry. So I figured they, not doing it to save face, but they, of course, like I said, kind of just doing it to move on and, kind of look forward to the upcoming season. And like I said, that's their leader and everything. So it's understandable. With me, like I said on Wednesday in our podcast, it's kind of just, just showing and telling of your true colors. I felt it was real tone deaf comment to make, especially during the times and everything that's going on. I don't understand why he would say that or whatever. Like I was kind of battling, back and forth. I know we're going to probably talk about Jake Fromm in a minute as well. Like I said, it was just tone deaf, and it's like why say that, with the climate of everything that's going on in America. And the big thing is for me, I guess, with those 2, like Jake Fromm and Drew Brees, it's like, yes, they're not going to ever understand and know the struggle that African American men go through on a day-to-day in in our United States, really in the world, honestly. But to be around the players that they're around, like they're around 75-80%, maybe a little less percentage of athletes on their team is probably African American, because that's the percentage the league is made up of. So it's like, yes, you're not going to understand the struggle and everything, but it's like you're around kind of like those guys. Like I'm sure some type of conversations come up to, about, childhood, their upbringing and things like that. And it's like, I know they don't fully understand to an extent. And I guess I've been hearing and seeing a lot of people say like, it's our job to teach them. For one, I don't think it's our job to teach them. It's kind of, apparent in a way, like you see so many hashtags, you see so many killings, you see it in the news all the time. I don't feel like we should be teaching them. I feel like that's something like, one, they should just kind of like I said, being around the guys in their locker room, being around the sport for so long. Like I know they played with other African Americans, they should kind of know. And then like we talked about on Wednesday, him making it about something that never was about, when we talked about it for it's been known for 6 years what Colin Kaepernick was protesting about. He's protesting about police brutality in America and, the innocent killings or the senseless killings of innocent, African Americans. in our community. So for him to just make that statement and continue on with that narrative, even 6 years later, and for him to come out with an apology saying that he wasn't fully aware, in my eyes, like I said, I'm kind of in the same place, because you can't. I don't know. Like I said, you just can't not be aware for 6 years and everything that's been going on. Like, it's just a little tone deaf. And you're a 41-year-old man. Like I said, you're never going to understand the struggles we go through. But like I said, it's just more apparent than ever at this point. And it's just like, why say something like that in this climate and day and age? So I don't know. I'll defer to you. Like, what do you think about it? Like, what's been going through your head since then?
I think it's like you said, it's the same. Where we talked about it on Wednesday, I'm in the same boat with you. Where it from the jump, it was never about the flag, and exactly. It's been documented, and it's not like this was a pie out the sky. It's this documented. There, all you have to do is take, like I said the other day, Google search Nate Boyer.
Yep.
And exactly. The first thing will come up of why of the pretty much the antithesis of the protest. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, that's why the part of me is like, we know what it means. It's just you created that narrative on your own.
Exactly.
And you just have to ignore that. And another thing too, what are your thoughts on just this whole like the NFL situation, like as far as Roger Goodell going out? And
yeah, like,
I want to hear your thoughts about that.
In my eyes, the NFL they just keep showing themselves. Like, I feel like they think that they're doing the right thing. It's kind of like, it's kind of like when people kind of like try to say the right things just because they know they got to go along with it. Like, they got to, like I said, save face. Like, him admitting that I guess the NFL was wrong with, like, by not listening to players earlier or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's like I said, it just feels like it's the right thing to say and right thing to do. Kind of like all these other companies are doing, like these other teams are doing with the Blackout Tuesday, like especially with San Francisco. Like I think we talked about when they did it. Like,
yeah,
like it's just like question mark. Like do you not understand? Like, you're the like part of the reason why like
exactly
Kaepernick's out of the league. Blackballed, without a job. So like I said, it kind of just seems like it's just. Like, all of them are just trying to say the right things and just, kind of get through it. Like, I'm pretty sure it's uncomfortable for them, but for me, it's more of actions. Like, if Roger Goodell in the NFL wants to, make amends, with the community or the Black African American community, and even Colin Kaepernick the apology should have been directed to him. It shouldn't have been just like, well, of course, all NFL players I will like accept. Like, yes, they should have been apologizing to all NFL players, because there were people that protested with them, knelt with them, and there were some that were scared to even do so because they knew they may be out of a job just like him, and they just couldn't risk that and feeding their families and everything. So yes, apologize to the NFL players, but you need to be apologizing directly to Colin Kaepernick, acknowledging everything that he's done and giving him a fair shot to get back in the league, which is what he's been wanting, since he's been out of the league. So, like I said, I don't know. To me, it's all kind of fake. Like I said, just kind of trying to save face. They got to apologize. They got to kind of get back in, in the good hands and good graces of the people. And like I said, the climate of today, like, we have 13 other countries, protesting, on behalf of Black Lives Matter. So it's kind of like I said, they're just doing it just, kind of keep their good name and, protect the brand. I think, like I said on Wednesday. So.
Yeah. And what's funny, what I found it really funny about all this is they're doing this because I guarantee you it's because of that video that came out with what I call it the prominent Black players of the league.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a Super Bowl MVP and Patrick Mahomes. Yep. You got one of the leading rushers in this league, and Ezekiel Elliott. Then you got one of the budding young running backs and Saquon Barkley. You got all these guys that's in this video, and it's like, okay, this is going to hit our money. Mm-hmm. This is going to hit our $1 billion industry if we don't follow behind this. Yep. It's all. I'm telling you, all these companies are doing that because they understand.
Yep.
This lets you know, and this we've always documented this way. They always say, as far as Black buying power is huge, and that's why I think in order to inflict change, you have to hit people in their pocketbooks.
Yep. That's the only way they're gonna understand. literally the only way they're gonna understand. That's what me and my girlfriend were talking about the other day. Like that's
Mhm.
all they know. Like
Yep.
that's all they know. So if we got to
Right.
hit them where it hurts, and that's pretty much the pockets. And not even just them. Like of course there's other
Right.
NBA
Yeah.
mainly made up of, but it's like I don't know. They're obviously different entity, and
Yeah.
they're just more progressive. Like they don't really have these issues. Like we know and visibly have had these issues with the NFL, forever. So you pretty much
Right.
hit it on the head. I almost forgot about that video. And they're
Right.
like pretty much faces. They're all faces of their own team. And
Yeah.
especially I'm pretty sure when he saw Patrick Mahomes in there, he's like, oh
Like,
yeah,
whoa.
we definitely gotta put out a
Right.
statement like as soon as possible. So
We got a 24-year-old Super Bowl
Yep.
MVP
Yep.
who ain't going nowhere anytime soon. Like,
Anywhere. Like that's
and-
the face, that's the future. So he was like, yep.
and almost is like, and it's kind of remind me in the NBA because guess what happens? Their prominent players came to the aid, and funny thing about it, a lot of people don't realize how Donald Sterling got out of the league because those guys was gonna boycott the playoffs. They were like, they were calling Adam Silver like, look,
yeah.
we not playing unless Donald Sterling gone. And you see how quick and active a change like that happened because they know. Because they know at the end of the day, they're making money off the backs of these players. And of course, you're not going to stop your $1 billion train off of one clown or one little ideology. Money rules everything. Clear as day.
Yep.
That's what money is the biggest, is the biggest
motivator.
Is the driver to enact change. So, and of course, you're from Georgia.
Yep.
And I know you've seen a lot of Jake Fromm and in your area. So, your thoughts on Jake Fromm, the elite whites test?
Yeah, that's
quote unquote.
I was waiting for this one. I guess first thing I want to put out there for anybody that may be watching. I'm a Florida fan, Gator fan, diehard Gator fan. Been a Gator fan since I think Chris Leak. Like Chris Leak with his last year, and then when Tim Tebow came in. So I'm not a Georgia guy. I don't root for Georgia on the college level. So I've always been against Jake Fromm. When they kicked him for Easton, I know Easton had gotten hurt. Yeah, but like when Easton was like back and healthy, I figured like he would pretty much take over that role, take over that spot, or at least compete for it. But he never got to. So of course he ended up going to Washington, and then they let Buddy go. I forgot his name, but he was the number one quarterback, I think, either in the country or number one quarterback in
Justin Fields.
Ohio. Yep.
Yes.
Ohio State. Yep.
Justin
So
Fields.
when they chose Fromm over him, I figured like I never was a big Jake Fromm fan. He just didn't really prove himself too much to me in college. Everyone thinks he had such a great college career, but in my eyes, everything was ran off the backs of the running backs and the defense. That's pretty much where their team lied. But anyway, to get into what he was saying, I didn't expect anything less. Like when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I kind of understand. Not understand. I understand and know like that's the type of person he probably is because of where he's from. He's from Warner Robins, and that's South Georgia, country Georgia. Certain parts he don't want to go into, like I said on Wednesday, and that's just probably the mindset he grew up with, and kind of like his surroundings and his family probably has those same ideologies and thoughts, and racism is taught and it's drove in people or drove in people. So I was just glad that the girl felt like it was the right thing to do to out him, to say, because to me honestly they're both bad, but I think that was worse than what Drew Brees said, because that's like on some like KKK, like white supremacy, like level of thinking. That's something that like I said, I don't mess with. I'm hoping others don't mess with, and something I wouldn't want to be around. I hope others wouldn't want to be around. So when I first saw it, I was like, Bills are probably going to cut him in the next few hours, or they should cut him in the next few hours. That's a 6th-round pick quarterback. You really don't need him. You already had a young quarterback. You already got and I forgot his name. I don't know why it's in my head.
Josh Allen.
Yep, they already got Josh Allen there. It's like, man, you just drafted him. You really don't even need Jake Fromm. And Jake Fromm's coming in as the third string anyway. So I was like, saying something like that, the climate of everything that's going on, he's going to be cut in a few hours. Obviously, that didn't happen. He just came out with an apology a few hours later. And to me, like, I don't know. Like, if I'm in that locker room with him this upcoming year, you know, like I said, I don't know how it's going to go for him. I wouldn't want to be around him. I wouldn't be messing with him in practice. I'm trying to take his head off. I know they probably, you know, they don't allow, of course, touching of the quarterback and stuff. You know, they give him little red jerseys and shit. But
right.
Yeah, I'm if I'm on the defense, I'm looking to take his head off because it's, like I said, it's ridiculous. And also I talked about this with Chris LeBron on my podcast that's going to be released later on. It's not like it's something he said, because you know how like sometimes with these athletes and stuff, they'll dig up old tweets or old texts that like were said when they were like middle school or high school. This was last year. Like he just said it last year in March. Right. So it's like we said with Drew Brees, your mind didn't change within 24, 48 hours. His mind definitely didn't change with this from a year removed, because he's still saying this, and he was just leading the team to playoff hopefuls last year, like I said, as their leading quarterback for the Bulldogs. So I don't know. I feel like I said, that's just how he was raised. That's in him. Like I said, that's white supremacy level of thinking in my eyes, and that's just not anything I would want to be around. So if I was the Bills, I would have cut him immediately. They obviously didn't, because I guess they're seeing him as an investment. That's a draft pick, obviously, but I feel like he's easily replaceable. He's not that great, like mechanically as a quarterback. He doesn't really bring anything to the table that you can't find honestly off the street or from an undrafted free agent, in my opinion. So I don't know. I would have cut him. It obviously should hurt his football career. I feel like the Bills are probably his only chance. If he doesn't make it there, it might be an out. But then again, like the way the NFL goes, the way they give, unfortunately, white players chance after chance after chance, no matter, their background or whatever they said or done, it may not be his only stop. So, like I said, he's a third string. I don't see him coming in and playing really, unless there's, obviously catastrophic injuries to Allen and their other backup. But like I said, it's just upsetting to see and know like something like that can be said and thought even only a year ago, and he can still, be on the team and still have a chance to, live out his dream or whatever. I feel like, that should be punished some way, somehow. Like fine, like game suspensions or something, but none of that is being done or addressed. So I don't know.
Yeah. To be real with you, I'm to be honest with you, I am really loving this time, because we're starting to you're starting to reveal what people really feel. This is perfect, and like you said, words matter. That's why people always say you need to hang on to every single word someone says.
Yep.
Elite white people,
like elite white person. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's just the rich. I can say, okay, well, that's just him, just dissing like poor people, and it happens.
Yeah,
but now you're just saying, hey, elite white people should be the only ones that should have guns.
Yeah, like
so you're like, okay. So in other words, my connotation, and it kind of goes perpendicular to what's going on in this situation, where people, unarmed black men, are getting killed by cops that have guns.
Yep.
So I look at that and it's like, oh, okay. So I have to hang on every single word, because I can look at that and be like, oh, that sounds like what's happening now.
Yep, exactly what's happening now.
So,
exactly. Like
so now, right. So now, do you want to get to a point where, because essentially that's the way you're, and then even in Georgia with Aubrey, that situation with Aubrey, he was unarmed.
Yep.
And didn't an elite white person have a gun?
3
allegedly, right?
3 of them.
And that's where, and that's why, like you see, and I'm glad that you put the parallel with him being from Warner Roberts, and you see like these are how people feel, like, and it's good. It's an eye-opening experience. It just lets you know, I want to know who my enemies are. You want to know who your enemies are. You don't want people to be hiding behind facades and Oh
Yep.
yeah, I love everybody.
Yeah,
Because
that's
you
fake.
guarantee right, and I guarantee you he was one of the guys in the locker room because I know they blocked for him. They
Exactly.
bled, sweated, tear for that guy.
Exactly. That's what I'm
You think
saying.
and you
Exactly.
think they would have did that, saying some stuff like this in this type of climate? Hell no.
At all. Like at all. That's said kind of another thing. Like you were just saying, like I feel like because like I said, he's from Warner Robins, like they're like that's something he was probably comfortable saying and thinking about, like because of same people that's down there, same people he grew up around. Like I said, have those same ideologies and same thought process. So it it just shows, like you said, the true person they are, and like they trying to just play nice and play safe. Because I'm pretty sure, like even where he played high school, like it was still probably a majority of African Americans playing football on the team. Like same thing, like I said with Drew Brees, like kind of just it's I don't know. It's just honestly sad and disgusting. Like I said, I just feel like he shouldn't have a job anymore. Like I said, shout out to the girl that blasted him and put it out because she said I forgot somebody was trying to basically tell her to take it down or delete it or whatever, but she just felt it was right for this to be seen. Because like I said, the climate of everything that's going on. Because another thing is too, like what I've been seeing like on social media and on Twitter and everything. There's I guess like white people, like basically, anti like supremacists, KKK members, just other, people that are against the Black Lives Movement thing and, the protesters and everything that's going on. Like they're protesting against basically Black Lives Matter, and they're coming out, loaded with guns and everything. Like before we hopped on, I saw something like this one white man had ran over a guy. I forgot his name, but he died like a few hours ago. Rest in peace to him. But basically, the white guy ran over this one guy. I think he also had a gun on him as well. The cop is basically protecting him, like letting him like sit on the cop car, smoke a cigarette, kind of just chilling and everything. Like meanwhile, he just ran over a guy. They let him lay on the ground and die, and he, like I said, died a few hours ago. So it's like, pretty much like these people, like you were saying with pretty much the white supremacy thing, and then like with Ahmaud Arbery and everything, like these people are comfortable coming out like in basically threatening our lives like as regular civilians, and they have no consequences whatsoever. And same thing with this. He gets to say something along those lines, along that nature. He probably has, does and has certain things like guns, probably go shooting, probably says and we're probably a whole bunch of other things that I'm just probably speculating that he does, but they feel comfortable and feel like they're able and should be able to do these things when obviously they shouldn't be. Like,
Exactly.
and that's pretty much like what we're marching for, what we're protesting for, and everything that's going on nowadays. So, like I said,
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully it's handled somehow, some way. It can't just get swept under the rug. But knowing the NFL and knowing everything that typically the pattern, it probably will be. So
Yeah. Yeah, man. So we'll say in the NFL. So let's talk about your Atlanta Falcons.
Falcons.
Just your outlook on the upcoming season.
Yeah, of course. Mixed emotions, honestly. Mixed emotions. Biggest thing, of course, I'm happy with getting Todd back. Todd's coming home. In a sense, because he went to Georgia, of course. I think he's from North Carolina, but Todd's coming home, gives us another offensive weapon, of course. After losing Devontae Freeman, everybody's a little worried about his knees, but I think I've seen a few workout videos. Matt Ryan spoke about it. Everyone's saying that he's good to go. That the knees look perfectly fine. So if he's able to return to form, I think he won Offensive Player of the Year 2017. If he's able to return to that form, our offense honestly might be unstoppable with a solid third receiver after Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones. If we just get that solid third receiver, that if we could find him, Laquan Treadwell, and then a guy that's already on our team, forgot his name, but he was a receiver out of LSU. Both of them guys, or one of them guys, that step up and be that solid third receiver, will be straight, honestly, on the offensive side. But it's really the defensive side that most of the worries from during the draft. That's pretty much what they addressed. With our first pick, we got the corner AJ Terrell out of Clemson. That name doesn't really ring a bell to anybody. Look up the national championship game.
Yes.
And just look at Jamar Chase and what you call it. I think it was Jamar Chase mainly, but Jamar Chase and Jefferson, just watch them and you'll see the corner that's running behind them is the guy that we got. So yeah, it's tough. I wasn't a fan of that pick whatsoever. I know we needed a corner because we let Trufant go, and we only had we had 3 on the roster, but 2 are young. One's a first year and one's a second year. And the second year Oliver isn't really that great. I see you, Chris. Yeah, I see you. It's all right. We got there. It's okay. Hopefully we'll make it back within one of these years while we still got Julio and Matt. But yeah, man, honestly, the defense is the worry. Like I said, we addressed it mainly in the draft by getting a corner, AJ Terrell. If he's able to, produce big and show why we picked him at that 19th spot, then I'll be okay with the pick. But right now it's iffy because one, at Clemson they ran a lot of press man, and the Atlanta Falcons don't really run press man. They're more of a cover 3 zone type defense, and his weakness is in zone. Like I said, obviously, as you saw in the national championship game, when they went zone, they went right by him. Even in man, they went right by him. So he has a lot of technique issues. He's kind of like a raw prospect, but if they're able to, work with him and, work with him on his technique and, just get him on more of an NFL skill level. Like he has all the, I guess the attributes. He has the height, he has the skill, he has the weight, but he's just a raw talent. If they're able to work with him and fix him up, then he should be, starter from day one. Hopefully, comes on. He's gonna have a lot of rough goings, or a lot of rough outings rather. This first year because of Tampa Bay got Brady, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Saints, Drew Brees, Emmanuel Sanders now, and Mike Thomas, and then Carolina's cooking up something. In Charlotte. And then of course we play the Kansas City Chiefs. Basically we play a bunch of teams that have great offenses. So he's going to definitely be challenged a lot this year, but if he's able to, rise to the occasion, we should be okay. But honestly, corner's our weakest spot. We need another corner, sign a veteran type corner. We got better at the defensive line. We got Marlon Davidson from Auburn. He'll be great against next to Grady. And we got another linebacker, Mikael Walker, and he'll be great against, next to Deion Jones. So it's really just the defense. That's the only question right now on the offensive side. On the offensive side, the only, I guess, question I think is right guard. It's going to be a battle there. It's like three guys battling it out. So we get that shared up. Offensive side, I'm not worried about it. Defense is the big, focus. And it's really just at the corner spot. So how Mr. Jeff Hunt, how long is Matt Ryan still a guy? I'll give him honestly another, quarterbacks are lasting a while. And he's 36 or 7? Yeah. 36 or 7. I'll give him another 3 years. Like if they're able to protect him, because these last 3 years haven't been pretty, or rather these last 2 years haven't been pretty. And he's been, sacked, I think the first or second highest total out of these last 2 years. So if they're able to protect him, then yeah, he's the guy for another 3 years. And we'll see. Hopefully we can get another Super Bowl run within them 3 years. So yeah, that's my little outlook. I think prediction wise, I don't think we're gonna make the playoffs, unfortunately. Like I said, I just don't see the defense really. Unless we make some surprise signing like a Logan Ryan, which we don't have no money to do it, so I doubt we do it. Then we'll probably just middle of the road, 8-8, something like that. 7-9, 8-8 again, for the third year in a row, missing the playoffs. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be interesting in Atlanta, especially like you said. And Carolina's a team I think is gonna be kind of a sleeper.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say with Carolina, the only they're a sleeper offensively. I'm waiting to see, I guess, what type of offense they're gonna run. Of course, because they got Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
They have solid receivers, but ain't no one that's really stand out. They got not Debo Samuel. Sorry, they got another Samuels and then somebody else. But it'll be interesting to see what type of offense they run. And they're kind of rebuilding their defense as well after losing. Kuechly retired, and everything. But they did sign. They did draft Derek Brown. He went to school here in Atlanta as well.
Yeah.
Monster beast. He went to Lanier, which is like a few minutes from a school that I went to. So yeah, he's definitely going to bolster them up and help that defense. But yeah, it's going to be interesting overall in NFC South. It just got a lot more tougher. Just overall, honestly, like I said, if the Saints can get past this Drew Brees thing, I think they'll still win the NFC South. Hopefully just not a Super Bowl, because that's the only thing I care about. Aints fans hate to hear them talk about anything Super Bowl. Hate to hear them talk about anything football related, period. So I don't know. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a tough road for us. Like I said, middle of the road, probably missing playoffs. But yeah, what about your Washington Redskins? How you feel about the signing of Rivera and Dwayne Haskins going forward?
Man, I am extremely excited. I see now we have a direction.
Yeah.
And
great signing. Honestly, that's a great coach to have in your locker room. So
I like what is going on there defensively. Now going to the 4-3, which I think we should have been doing for years.
Mm-hmm.
You're bringing a guy like a Jack Del Rio to re-up your defense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he does wonders. I mean, you see what he's done in other regimes, especially notably in Denver.
Yep.
He was D coordinator there. Offensively, it's a little bit here and then of course let's go back to the defense. Yeah, first of all, we're talking about I do the 4-3, and then as far as, and I'm loving what we've done in the drafts. I look at us as a junior 49ers, where we kind of have been building our trenches.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
And a guy who I think is going to be a big beneficiary is your guy Montez Sweat from the hometown
hero Stevenson.
Yes, and I think he's going to be good. Have him on one side, and then you have Chase Young on the other, which that's just going to be
that's going to be hard to handle. Yes.
It's going to be like a meet me at the quarterback.
Yep.
It's just like I like that situation. Our line, and I think we're just doing it the right way. I think Dwayne. He's in the thing with him. I think Dwayne is going to be a good quarterback in this league. Every week he stepped on the field, he got better.
Yeah, and that's the first thing, because he just thrown in a horrible situation, honestly.
Right.
So,
and for him to get better in a situation where, in essence, he was on a blank canvas. Like whatever he did last year, you could just charge it to the game. But he got better. Yeah, but he got better. He got better every week as it progressed. Now you getting a guy like a Scott Turner, who I hope believes in him, and hopefully with the tutelage of Cal Allen can help him. Help him kind of teach him the offense and kind of pretty much expedite the process. And I like what Dwayne can do. Dwayne has it physically. Yep. My biggest thing is, does he have it upstairs? And I think he does. I think it's mentally he has it. And I think, and then he did a great job conditioning during the off season. He's lost, I think, probably almost 15 pounds.
Oh wow, yeah, that's good.
So, and I think he trimmed. I think he's only 7% body fat, which is excellent.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm excellent.
I won't complain about that. Yeah.
And the thing, and I like with and then also our guys, what we got as far as our receivers, we're still kind of we
That's
still.
Why I was up to ask too. I was like, did y'all draft any?
Well, we got a guy named, I think, Gandy Golden. He's out of Liberty University.
Yeah.
A coronavirus survivor.
Oh wow, that was
but at Liberty University, I think he's a pretty good guy. He's like a brainiac to me. He's a really a smart guy.
Yeah.
And then I just like the nucleus of the second year, these guys coming together, like a Cam Sims, Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the one I knew.
And those guys, I think they're going to kind of come together. The wide receiver situation is a little iffy. Yeah. When Tampa Bay sounded Grunk, I was like, all right, do I have to go down to Tampa Bay and pull OJ Howard out?
Yeah, that's all I'm about to say. Yeah, pull the trigger.
Everybody was so excited. Oh, Grunk won Tampa Bay. I thought to myself, y'all gonna let OJ go?
Yeah, let OJ go.
Let me know.
Ain't no rumbling. Like if they
I think
I'm hoping they have to let him go. I'm hoping they find a trade suitor somewhere because I don't want to see. I don't think Gronk's going to be fully back to form until probably halfway during the season. But we don't play him to the last 3 of our games of the season, so it's like I don't want to face a full head of steam Gronk and then possibly OJ Howard too. So I'm like, just find a suitor somewhere. I'm glad for him to go up to y'all NFC East. So just somewhere, did y'all release Jordan Reed? I just know he's injury prone.
Well, I mean, he was like what they call like medically released.
Okay,
or something like that. Yeah, he was on I forgot what is the textbook definition of being released due to all those injuries.
Mm-hmm.
But a tight end is the biggest question mark when you looked at. I mean, Jeremy Sprinkle, and then of course the retirement of Vernon Davis.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank God he wasn't like his brother. He retired.
Mm-hmm.
He retired in the perfect time. He didn't retire at halftime. Lord knows a couple of games I was like, I hope he don't be like his brother.
Honestly, I forgot he was even playing up there before. He like one play on top 10 this past year, right? I forgot what it was, something crazy that he did. I was like, oh, he still plays.
Oh,
the retired.
Game.
Yeah, first game.
He did that flip kind of like.
Yep.
That was amazing. And it's crazy because and that lets you know, like, kind of, because did you hear about the story behind it?
Mm-mm.
Because I think his grandfather passed away the night before the game.
Oh yeah,
and it make you think like, God, it lets you know, like, if I don't know if you're a spiritual guy or not, but they let you know, like, sometimes people looking for you, they looking out for you. It's something up there that's tell you, hey,
it's definitely
because of that.
Yeah. Too many examples and too many stories. Yeah.
Right. And it is a Sunday sit down. We ain't talking about religion, but I just don't want to cross that line.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think, honestly, in all seriousness, I do like what this team's going forward. I don't expect us to be like San Francisco, who are 4-12 and went to the Super Bowl the next year. No, as long as I see constant improvement, and I think we just have to be patient.
Mm-hmm.
I think we just have to realize, hey, this is a long haul.
Yep.
We don't want to be sitting here 2-3 years from now. Oh, we need to get a new head coach, or 4 or 5 years down the line. Yeah. No, you need stability. The teams who are constant winners, who are double-digit winners every year, have consistency.
Yep.
Or some form of some place,
form of fashion
that exudes stability.
Exactly.
You can't have a situation where you hire one person and this person don't get along with this,
Exactly.
And now giving him the power to do those type of moves, he gets his guys in, and guess what? If those guys don't work, then guess what? He'll clean house and vice versa, and this and the third.
Exactly.
He has the keys to the car. A lot of times these guys have never had keys to the car, and you see what happens.
Yeah, they just
was infighting.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with Dwayne Haskins. He was a perfect example. Snyder wanted Dwayne. Jay Gruden was like, hell no. Like, I don't want him. I don't want him. And you see how that happened. Yep. You go 0-5, and then once he's gone, then that's when Wayne started playing.
Yep, exactly.
He got better and better. So, I mean, I think I feel confident because there's a plan in place. I can sleep easy knowing that, okay, well, that's we're building this team.
Yep.
Something
like it's some type of direction now. Yeah,
because now you're at a point where you're going against the Ezekiel Elliott's twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
You're going against the Saquon Barkley's twice a year. So obviously you need to get your defensive line together and get them situated. Yep. You have to have like that's why I love what Carolina did with bolstering their defense, because they got all the playmakers in the NFC South. Mm-hmm. You got to stop them. And if I'm going to show up a draft like what Matt Rule did, he drafted all 7 guys from the defense, and probably about half of them, about 4 of them, will make an immediate impact on that defense next year.
Exactly.
So plans. We want plans. And we want execute. It's not that hard. Like
it's simple. Like
it's I say this, but there's a proven formula, but everybody deviates from it, and I just don't never understand why. It's crazy.
Yep.
Like everybody deviates from the plan, which I don't understand why. Yep. But
just look at the certain franchises, like
right
Steelers. So they had only three head coaches in like 40 something years, something like that. Just crazy. It's obviously Bill Belichick up in New England, like you said, just some type of stability. You didn't want to turn into the next Cleveland Browns. So
right, you see what they're doing. They have a great talent, but look at them. They're
coach. Yep, everybody on 1 years.
Right, you had John Dorsey, who I thought was doing a great job. One bad year, everything's gone. Now, even though I do like Andrew Berry, what he's doing, but there you go again. You're back at square one once again, and then it's bad because you got this type of talent that's good enough to make the playoffs, but you got a whole new coaching staff. So that's another thing where you're like, and then I feel bad for Kevin Stefanski because in a sense, he's got a talented roster, even though he inherited a great roster, but it's just like, could it work for him?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's another thing where that's why, like Cleveland, I don't know why on earth that they did the stuff they did, and then now you got the talent.
They got if they don't make it this year,
right? And that's
at this, I know it takes coaching to a certain extent, but like at this point, what they got our old tight end Austin Hooper just coming off another, great year. He was hurt a little bit, but coming off 2 good seasons. Obviously, OBJ and his buddy, Landry, So it's like they have the and defensively too. They have the pieces. Like they have pieces everywhere. Like every single position on the field, there's not a question mark. So,
they
just got to make it.
On paper, this is 11 win season for this team. Even in the 17 game regular season next year,
exactly. Yep.
This team can win 11 games.
Yep.
But the problem is, like you said, they don't make the playoffs this year or next year. Then guess what's out? Kevin Stefanski's out. Andrew Berry is going to be out. All those guys are going to be out, and that's the problem. You can have all the talent you want, but like you said, if you ain't winning, then Cleveland gonna be back at square one, and then they're gonna go from being a 6-10 team to probably 0-16
again. Yep.
0-17 one year. Next 3-4 years.
It's a cycle. Yep.
It's a cycle. And it's just stability. You have to have stability, regardless of your roster. You got to have stability.
Stability somewhere.
Right. So, as we talked about, let's shift to the NBA. Now we're both. You're a Hawks fan. I'm a Bulls fan. We both said, "Hey, 1, 2, 3, Cancun." The summer is here. Thank God. Like I didn't want to be a part of that. I mean, a 22-win team don't deserve it in the world.
Exactly, 20-win team neither.
Right. So So let's talk about the Atlanta Hawks. What are your thoughts on the offseason? Like what things that need to be done in this offseason to make you guys at least a legitimate player to make a legitimate playoff run?
Yeah. Me and Chris LeBron talked about this a little bit. I'm very excited, honestly, for the team. Very excited to see the direction that we're going in. Because of course, like these last 3 years, we've had solid picks. We've hit on the draft. Got John Collins. The beginning of the start of our GM's regime with us. So we got John Collins first year, of course, Trae Young and Kevin Huerter. The following, in this past year, DeAndre and Cam. So that's a solid group. That's a solid core for me. With the three wings, I guess interchangeable. They can play 2 and 3. DeAndre, Cam, and Kevin. All 3 can play defense, and they all 3 can shoot. They're all pretty much kind of like 3-and-D players. And Cam, like I said, coming down the stretch these last few games, we saw that he can create a shot and he can create offense, and also be a lockdown defender. So he wants to be known as one of the greater two-way players of the game, and I could see that coming along these last few games. Unfortunately, like I said, everything came to a halt with the coronavirus, and their season came to an end, prematurely. But I see him, coming into his own, and he just has, more time, more of an offseason, to improve and get better. So as long as they keep those 5 together, we'll be all good. They made the trade for Clint Capella. before the before All-Star break. He was hurt and he didn't get to play with them, but that's just another young piece. He's not hurting the books. He's 25. He'll fit in right with the core. He gives us a 5 because we're pretty much, our team is just missing, a little bit of veteran help and edge and toughness on defense. I think we probably was dead last and probably all statistical keepings of in defense. We probably last in efficiency, last in pretty much everything. Like we just was giving up points. We could score a little bit, but we just giving up points. So we got Clint Capella as a 5, defensive stopper, rim protector, and another lob partner for Trae Young. So I'm excited for the guys that's on the team at the moment. Like I said, we're just missing like really veteran help and some bigs, maybe some stretch 4s. We got Dedmon before the All-Star break as well. I was a little upset we gave up who we gave up. We gave up Alex Len and Jabari Parker for him. Because earlier in the year, Jabari was hooping, but he got hurt, of course, because he's just injury prone. I know Chicago Bulls guys. So
my money.
Yeah, like saying anything with that, like, but the thing is, he was hooping, like he was playing, and I was like, oh, okay. And he's still young too. He's like 26, 25, 26. So I was like, if he stays healthy the rest of the year, we'll keep him like long term. But obviously we traded him to the Sacramento Kings with Alex Len. For Dedmon because they needed veteran help and they needed a big that can kind of show everyone else along the way. Because of course Vince last season, he'll be gone. We don't have that veteran, and he's really like the only true veteran on our squad. To lead the kids. Because other than that, Jeff Teague, we got him like pretty much made just little bitty trades here and there before the All-Star break to kind of help bolster us a little bit. Maybe I guess they thought we could make a playoff run, but obviously not. So just going forward, during the offseason, it's really up in the air. We got a bunch of money, but I don't like the free agents this year. 2021's free agents look a lot better. Depending on if anybody signs an extension or whatever, they look a lot better. So I don't know what they're really going to do with the money that they have because it's a lot, but there's no really free agents that I feel like is worth the money. And I feel like they're smart enough not to just, give somebody a contract and kind of just blow it just because they have the money and have to. So I'm hoping this offseason we were mainly focused on, if they don't keep Teague, we need a backup point guard for Trae because that's what we needed this year coming in. Wing wise, maybe just one, like I said, like Vince, maybe one veteran that could play 3-4, kind of show the young guys along the way. And then honestly, just focusing on our bigs. Like I said, we got John Collins, did great this year. Of course, he missed 25 games because of illegal substance use or whatever. I don't know, something that was banned that he took. Unfortunately, he didn't know. But like I said, the games he did play, he averaged a double-double, like either 20 and 10 or like 19 and 10, something like that. But obviously he had another good year. Him, Clint Capella, and if we get us some veteran bigs that can either play stretch 4 or be a rim protector, we'll be okay. Like we'll be all right, going into the next season, as long as everyone, like I said, continues to grow, continues to learn, and like I said, we just get that veteran help. Only thing I'm not worried about it, but the few little, I got Bleacher Report, and I'm always on there. Like the few little articles I'll be reading, like a lot of them I've been reading, like they just, I guess, speculating we could trade for Beal, which I'm not opposed to, but the trade scenarios were just too much for me, like crazy. Like they were giving up Hunter, they were giving up Reddish, they were giving up Herter. They pretty much just gave up all our three young wings to get Beal, which, like I said, is going to add offense. But then again, you just gave up all 3 of your guys that play defense and help Trae, because obviously Trae's not going to play defense on nobody. He's, a little bit smaller. He's more of an offensive threat. So you just pretty much gave up the 3 guys that's going, that help Trae and play defense on the point guards for him. So as long as that doesn't really happen, like I said, I'll be happy with having them. But it's like I feel like that's way too much to give up. In my eyes. For other people, it's probably not. But like I'm seeing these kids play and grow. So I'm hoping they don't do that. Like I said, just kind of just wait. I feel like they really just need to wait till 2021 season, like I said, and make that big splash. Because with the talent, we have talent. And if they sign the right guys this offseason and draft correctly, me and Chris were talking about, I don't really know who they're going to draft. I would hope maybe Obi Toppin, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping because that would be a nice little fit with John Collins and all the other bigs there. So if we sign someone like him, they have enough talent to push for the 8th seed, 7th seed in a weak East for next year. So just be patient. Don't spend money this year. Don't make a big splash unless it's a great big splash and we're not giving up too much. That's just kind of what I'm hoping for in my outlook. But I definitely see them pushing for 8th, 7th seed playoffs next year if they just stay the course, which with our GM, I'm pretty sure they will. So that's just my hope. That's my hope. But who knows? Like I said, I'm not in charge, but like I said, I like who we have. I like the moves they've made so far. I think they'll continue to make good moves because we got I keep forgetting his name, but of course the GM, former GM or former assistant GM from Golden State, and he's kind of trying to use that same formula he did with them, getting Steph and then Clay, then Draymond. So we kind of see it with like I said, the 3 wings he got are kind of like his Clays, and then of course Trey's being Steph Young, and then all he has to do is round it out with maybe another big, and we'll be all good.
Yeah. So let's round up this sit down with your top 5 athletes of all time.
Top 5 of all time. That's a tough one. Anybody watching, don't crucify me. I'm pretty young. I'm 23, so I'm gonna say my top 5 that I've personally seen and witnessed in some form or aspect. Does it have to be in the or top 5 and 1 or just overall?
It could be overall, yeah.
Overall, yeah. I think I'm gonna go overall because I don't want to. I can't really think 1 to 5. Honestly, my 1, of course, I'm a LeBron guy. I'm a big LeBron fan, and I just think he's a specimen of an athlete. Like he can pretty much do anything on and off the court. He played football in high school as well, and I think he just saw an article too. He was thinking about possibly playing during their lockout season, going to the Cowboys, whoever he went to. Yeah, so definitely athlete, and you can't argue with 6'8", 250, 260. So athlete. Both of us got the jersey in the background. Michael Jordan, of course, specimen of an athlete. With The Last Dance, I think I talked about with my other podcast. I didn't really learn too much about him that I didn't already know. But the one thing that did surprise me, like his layup package was crazy. I've never seen the hang time like that on anybody. So I was like, that's what really I was taken aback by all the little highlight segments and stuff with him. His layup packages and crazy things he was doing in the air. So I was like, oh yeah, definitely. I can see why. Other generations are so big on him and stuff. I'm big on him too as well, but I just that kind of sold it for me, put it over the top. I was like, oh yeah, he's an athlete for sure. Those 2. I'm gonna go women's. Serena Williams.
Nice.
Big fan of Serena. Can't argue with her accolades. Different highlights and things I've seen that when she's played tennis. I think I've gotten to see her maybe one time as well. I forgot the name of the stadium. It's closed now, but it's like a Atlanta something stadium, like an open. I used to live not too far from it or whatever. But yeah, athlete. Like I said, accolades, and he just one of the greatest. The argument's always made. Everyone always saying greatest tennis player of all time, but nah, she's one of the greatest athletes of all time. 3rd or 4th. That's 3, right? Yeah, 4th one. This one is tough. The last 2 spots definitely gonna be tough. I'm gonna go football for one of them because I gotta touch every sport. I want to touch every sport. Make sure I do. 4, I'm gonna say Derek Jeter. I just like his game. I like the way he played. Like I said, can't argue with his accolades and also his leadership as well. Like I said, I just want to touch every sport. So Derek Jeter for baseball, definitely. I feel like he's one of the greater athletes. And then 5, I'm gonna go with tough. Cause I want to go with a receiver, and I want to say Julio just because I'm just the biggest Julio fan. He's not really he's top receiver in the game, not top 5 overall, but receiver wise, I'll go not Randy Moss. I'll go Terrell Owens, honestly. Terrell Owens, because just he was a specimen on the field as well. A lot of people probably don't like his attitude and everything, but he was specimen on the field. He can run any type of route, like anything. He go across the middle. He'll go downfield. He'll run screens. He'll do everything. And I like his personality as well. Like I said, most people might not be, fond of it, but I liked it. It's fun. It's playful. And it's like, just funny the things he be doing. So he'll round out my top 5. So gotta say, just personally, because I've seen him. I know most people, of course, will say Jerry Rice is the GOAT. But I never saw him playing at any type of way. Only highlights. So yeah, those would be my top 5: LeBron, Michael, Serena, Derek Jeter, and Terrell Owens.
Okay, that's so where can they find you on social media?
Social media, honestly, I'm just getting everything started. Like I said, I'm a rookie in the game. I'm learning from you and Chris LeBron right now. But social media wise, I'm on Facebook. If you want, I guess at my regular Facebook is Jelani Brown, but I made a podcast page for it literally before we got on. It's just called What the Game Means to Me. Like I said, if you search it on the pages, it should come up. I'm also on Twitter. My Twitter for my podcast is WTGMTM, and I know it's probably WTGMTM podcast. It might be a little hard, but it's just the first letter of every word in my podcast, which is What the Game Means to Me. I didn't have enough, characters to type out What the Game Means to Me on Twitter for my little handle. So yeah, WTGM MTM podcast. And then it'll probably, I don't have an Instagram yet, but I'm gonna make an Instagram for the podcast as well, and it'll probably be on my Facebook page or on Twitter. So if you look on one of those, you can be able to follow me on there as well. But all that's getting made today. My podcast is available on, pretty much every platform: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast from. You can also go to the website. I have mine hosted on Simplecast. So take the RSS feed and you don't see, I guess, or you have a different, podcast host, just take that RSS feed and, put it on yours and it should come right up. So. Yeah.
So most definitely, man. Appreciate you for coming by here on.
Of course. I appreciate you for having me on. I appreciate you for being on mine as well. So, I'm having fun with it already. I'm having fun, meeting you guys and just talking sports with you guys and everything that comes along with it. Learning and everything you guys have taught me so far. So I appreciate it for sure. And I already know, of course, we'll do it again.
Absolutely, no doubt, especially during football season.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. I got stuff cooking.
Of course.
I might have an NFC South preview that I'm gonna be cooking up in the next few months.
Yeah. Throw me on there for sure. Before we go, I wanted to ask you what you think. I wanted to know what you I guess your predictions for the Washington Redskins. Like what I guess kind of win-loss prediction, because I know y'all have a pretty tough division as well.
I'm almost like you when it comes to the Falcons, man. I can see ourselves being on the verge between 7-9 and 9-7.
Oh, 7 wins. Whoa.
I can see that happening. I mean, I honestly think that this team can at least double their wins from last season.
Okay. That's hopeful thinking. I think so too. Like I said, y'all got the defense, to back it up. As long as that offense is growing and taking a step each week, then I can see 7.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can see 7.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. Definitely appreciate you coming through this week. And any final words?
I guess really the only thing is everything that's going on nowadays in the world. Everybody stay safe. If you're going out there and protesting on the front lines, make sure you're staying safe. Bring your masks. Bring milk, different supplies, and everything that you may possibly need. Hopefully not. I guess if everyone, tries to keep it, peaceful and everything, but continue to support, continue to donate, continue to sign every petition that you see. Please. I've been signing any petition I see. All the stories I'm reading, it's terrible. A lot of the things that aren't shown in the media or aren't, come to the comes to light or whatever. It's a lot of little stories. And even here in my own home state, I know there's about 2 or 3 different ones that came up that I had to just sign the petition that I remember happening, but remember they also just got swept under the rug. So yeah, any petitions you see, please sign them. It definitely helps. It goes a long way. Like we said on my podcast, whenever voting in your respective cities and states, come up, please vote. And please just, be part of the change and, help make a change so we can hopefully, make this country a better place for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. So definitely appreciate you coming through. And man, once again, man, this has been the Couch Coach Live Sunday Sit Down, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you again. Appreciate everybody tuning in and listening. I had fun.
Yeah. So catch you guys next time. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.